Hey everybody, and welcome back to our channel. Today we are doing a travel guide to the incredible city of Sydney, Australia. We're about to dive into the top 10 must-visit spots in Sydney. We're talking iconic landmarks, stunning beaches, and maybe even a few furry friends along the way. You know how much I love animals. From the Opera House to the Harbour Bridge, we're covering it all. I've got all the insider tips and tricks to make your trip unforgettable. I can't wait to show you around one of my favorite cities in the world. Get ready to say good day to Sydney. First up, we're heading to the most recognizable building in Australia, the Sydney Opera House. I mean, come on, those white sail-like shells are iconic. It's like the Eiffel Tower of Australia, but way more interesting to look at. This architectural masterpiece was designed by a Danish architect named Jorn Utzon. Can you believe they almost didn't pick his design? Thank goodness they did, right? It's like a giant work of art, just casually chilling on the harbour. Now, if you really want to experience the Opera House, I highly recommend catching a show. They've got everything from opera and ballet to plays and concerts. And let me tell you, the acoustics in that place are incredible. It's like music to your ears, literally. But even if you don't have time for a show, just walking around the Opera House is an experience in itself. You can take a guided tour, grab a bite to eat at one of the restaurants, or just soak up the atmosphere. Trust me, it's magical. All right, folks, buckle up because we're heading to another Sydney icon, the Sydney Harbour Bridge. This isn't just any bridge, though. This baby is a marvel of engineering. I mean, it took over 1,400 men and 8 years to build this thing. Now, you can drive across it, you can walk across it, but for the truly adventurous, you gotta climb it. That's right, you can actually climb to the very top of the Sydney Harbour Bridge. Don't worry, you'll be all harnessed up and safe and sound. But still, talk about a view. And speaking of views, the view from the top of the Harbour Bridge is simply breathtaking. You get a 360-degree panorama of the entire city, the harbour, the Opera House. It's like you can see all of Sydney from up there. It'll make you want to break into your best "I'm on top of the world" dance. But even if you're not up for the climb, there are still plenty of ways to experience the bridge. You can take a ferry ride under it, walk or cycle across it, or even just admire it from afar. No matter how you choose to experience it, the Sydney Harbour Bridge is a must-see for any visitor to Sydney. Number 3, Bondi Beach. Just hearing the name makes me want to grab a surfboard, some sunscreen, and maybe a smoothie. Oh, and a towel. Definitely a towel. It's not just a beach, you guys. It's an icon. Like if Australia had a Facebook profile, Bondi Beach would be the cover photo. This place is famous for its killer waves. And when I say killer, I mean killer good, not killer scary. Unless you're a beginner surfer, then maybe a little scary at first. But don't worry, there are plenty of surf schools where you can learn from the pros. You'll be hanging 10 in no time. And if surfing isn't your thing, no worries. You can soak up the sun, build a sandcastle, or just people watch. Trust me, the people watching at Bondi Beach is top-notch. You've got your surfers, your sunbathers, your families building sandcastles that would make Frank Lloyd Wright jealous. It's a whole thing. The best time to visit? Well, any time is a good time for Bondi. But if you're looking for sunshine and warm weather, aim for the summer months, from December to February. And if you want to avoid the crowds, try going early in the morning or later in the afternoon. All that sun and surf can really work up an appetite, am I right? Lucky for you, Bondi Beach is a foodie's paradise. You've got everything from casual cafes to fancy restaurants, all within walking distance of the beach. One of my personal faves is this little cafe called Gertrude and Alice. They have the best coffee, the best pastries, and the best atmosphere. It's the perfect place to relax after a long day of soaking up the sun. And if you're lucky, you might even spot a celebrity or two. For a more upscale dining experience, check out Iceberg's Dining Room and Bar. This place has amazing views of the ocean and the food is incredible. I'm talking fresh seafood, delicious pasta, and decadent desserts. It's the perfect place for a romantic dinner or a special occasion. So whether you're craving a quick bite or a gourmet meal, Bondi Beach has got you covered. Number 4, Taronga Zoo. Next up, we're heading over to Taronga Zoo, home to over 4,000 animals from all over the world. But this isn't just any zoo, this is Taronga. It's like the zoo went to a fancy academy and got a degree in being amazing. First of all, the location is unbelievable. It's nestled on the shores of Sydney Harbour, so you get these stunning views of the city skyline while you're checking out the animals. Talk about a room with a view. Or a zoo with a view, I guess. And the animals. Don't even get me started on the animals. They've got everything from majestic lions and playful monkeys to cuddly koalas and those giant bats that look like they could carry you away. Don't worry, they won't, I think. The best part? Taronga is super committed to conservation. They've got all sorts of programs to help protect endangered species, both in Australia and around the world. So you can feel good about visiting, knowing that you're supporting a great cause. Now let's talk logistics. The best time to visit Taronga Zoo is during the cooler months, from April to October. It's when the weather is most comfortable for both you and the animals. They've got all sorts of special events happening throughout the year, like behind-the-scenes tours, animal encounters, and even concerts and movie nights. You can check out their website for the latest and greatest. And trust me, you'll want to plan your visit in advance because this place is popular. Getting to Taronga is half the fun. You can catch a ferry from Circular Quay, which gives you those iconic harbor views I was telling you about, or you can drive, take a bus, or even ride a cable car. It's like a choose-your-own-adventure, but with more koalas. No matter how you get there, a visit to Taronga Zoo is an experience you won't soon forget. Just be prepared to say "aw" a lot, and maybe "ooh" and "ah" too. Number 5. The Rocks. Hold on to your hats, history buffs, because we're stepping back in time to the Rocks. This is one of the oldest and most historic neighborhoods in Sydney, with cobblestone streets and charming cottages. Back in the day, the Rocks was the heart of it all. It was a bustling port, a rowdy meeting place, and had quite the reputation. These days, the Rocks is more refined but still has that old-world charm, with narrow alleyways, historic pubs, and buildings that have seen a thing or two. It's the perfect place to get lost for an afternoon, wandering through the streets and popping into shops. And if you love a good market, the Rocks is home to some of the best in Sydney. Every weekend, the streets come alive with stalls selling handmade jewelry, crafts, and delicious food. And after all that shopping, you're going to need a drink, right? The Rocks has got you covered with pubs, bars, and restaurants, each with its unique charm. So grab a drink, pull up a chair, and raise a toast to the good times. All right, we've explored some iconic landmarks, caught some waves, and maybe even made friends with a kangaroo or two. But hold on to your hats because we're about to dive into the vibrant heart of Sydney's entertainment scene. Darling Harbour. This place is like the love child of a carnival, a waterfront promenade, and a gourmet food festival. Seriously, you've got street performers, dazzling lights, the aroma of delicious food wafting through the air. It's sensory overload in the best way possible. Now, if you're an adrenaline junkie, you have to check out the exhilarating rides and attractions at Luna Park. It's got that classic amusement park charm with a modern twist. Picture yourself screaming your lungs out on a roller coaster with the stunning harbor as your backdrop. And if you're looking for a more laid-back experience, hop aboard a scenic ferry ride and soak in the breathtaking views. Trust me, it's the perfect way to appreciate the beauty of Sydney from a different perspective. Plus, you can pretend you're on a romantic getaway even if you're just with your bestie. Okay, let's talk about the food, because Darling Harbour is a foodie's dream come true. We're talking fresh seafood, international cuisines, trendy cafes, you name it, they've got it. From casual bites to fine dining experiences, Darling Harbour has something to satisfy every craving and budget. Personally, I'd recommend finding a waterfront restaurant, ordering a mountain of seafood, and enjoying the view. Because nothing says vacation like indulging in delicious food with a side of sparkling water. And don't even get me started on the desserts. They've got everything from decadent cakes to creamy gelato. You know I have a sweet tooth, so this is my kind of place. I mean, a trip isn't complete without a little sugar rush, right? So whether you're in the mood for a romantic dinner, a fun night out with friends, or a family-friendly feast, Darling Harbour has got you covered. Just be sure to wear your stretchy pants because you're going to want to try everything. After all that excitement and delicious food, you might be craving a little peace and quiet. And what better place to escape the hustle and bustle of the city than the Royal Botanic Garden? Nestled right in the heart of Sydney, this green oasis is like stepping into a fairy tale. Imagine towering trees, vibrant flowers, and the sweet melodies of native birds. It's the perfect place to relax, recharge, and reconnect with nature. And the best part? The Royal Botanic Garden is completely free to enter. Yes, you heard that right. a budget-friendly activity that's both entertaining and educational. Grab your walking shoes and get ready to immerse yourself in the tranquility of the Royal Botanic Garden. It's an experience that will leave you feeling refreshed, rejuvenated, and maybe even a little bit wiser. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're hopping on a ferry to Manly Beach. This isn't just any beach, it's a destination in itself. It's like taking a mini vacation from your vacation. The ferry ride alone is an experience you won't want to miss. You'll cruise past the iconic Sydney Opera House and the majestic Harbour Bridge. As you approach Manly, you'll be greeted by sparkling turquoise waters and golden sands. From surfing and paddleboarding to boutique shopping and dining, this place has something for everyone. And when your stomach starts rumbling, head to one of Manly's many restaurants or cafes. Don't forget to grab an ice-cold gelato or a refreshing acai bowl. So grab your swimsuit, pack your sunscreen, and get ready for a day of adventure and relaxation at Manly Beach. It's an experience that'll leave you feeling refreshed, rejuvenated, and maybe even a little bit sun-kissed. Next up, we're stepping into the Queen Victoria Building, or as the cool kids call it, the QVB. This is a shopping experience wrapped in history and topped with a breathtaking dome. Get ready to say goodbye to your money because the QVB is home to over 200 boutiques and shops. The architecture alone is worth the visit. The stained glass windows are like giant pieces of art, casting colorful shadows. It's magical. The Queen Victoria Building is a must-see. Unless you're Oprah, then shop till you drop. You can't miss the Great Australian Clock. It's pretty incredible to watch. It's a shopping destination, a history lesson, and an architectural masterpiece all rolled into one. Now let's take a break from the bustling city and venture out into nature. Just a short drive from Sydney, you'll find the breathtaking Blue Mountains National Park. This World Heritage listed site is a natural wonderland, offering stunning vistas, lush rainforests, and dramatic cliffs. One of the most iconic sites here is the Three Sisters Rock Formation, which has a fascinating Aboriginal legend behind it. Whether you're into hiking, rock climbing, or simply soaking in the views, the Blue Mountains have something for everyone. Don't forget to visit Scenic World for an unforgettable ride on the world's steepest railway and the Skyway, where you can walk above the canopy and take in panoramic views. It's a serene escape that lets you connect with nature and experience the raw beauty of Australia's landscape. Well, that's a wrap on our Sydney adventure. Can you believe all the amazing things we've seen and done? From the iconic Opera House to the vibrant markets of the Rocks, Sydney is truly a city that has it all. I hope you enjoyed exploring this incredible city with me, and that I've inspired you to add a few of these must-see destinations to your travel bucket list. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel for more travel tips and adventures. Let me know in the comments below which Sydney destination you're most excited to visit. And if you're ready to experience Sydney for yourself, be sure to check out the Get Your Guide link in the description below. There, you can easily book the best tours and activities to make your Sydney adventure unforgettable. From guided city tours to thrilling bridge climbs, Get Your Guide has everything you need to make the most of your visit. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video and happy travels!